From downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News at 11 starts now.
And a good evening to you. We do begin tonight with breaking news. Senate leaders and the Trump administration just under an hour ago reaching an agreement on a $2 trillion stimulus package to rescue the economy from the coronavirus assault, potentially setting the stage for swift passage of the massive legislation through both chambers of Congress. Now, the agreement capped 5 straight days of intense negotiations that occasionally descended into partisan warfare as the nation's economy reeled from the deadly pandemic. The legislation, unprecedented in its size and scope, aims to flood the economy with sending $1,200 checks to many Americans, creating a $367 billion loan program for small businesses, and setting up a $500 billion fund for industries, cities, and states. Other provisions include a massive boost to unemployment insurance, $150 billion for state and local stimulus funds, and $130 billion for hospitals, among numerous other provisions. We do want to turn to the most recent update from Governor Gavin Newsom. Newsom saying Californians should expect social distancing measures to last at least through April as the state fights the spread of coronavirus. Californians have been under the stay-at-home order since last week to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Now, during tonight's press briefing, the governor said all Californians, not just the elderly, need to be careful. He noted that, quote, the tragic loss of life of a teenager in Lancaster, which brought the total number of California coronavirus deaths to about 40 this morning.
Half of those that have tested positive to date in the state of California are 18 to 49 years old. This disease impacts everybody. The question is the acuity and the hospitalization rate that, yes, does skew on the side of older populations. But with this tragic now death, it is a reminder to everybody to take this seriously.
And to reduce the risk of the novel coronavirus in correctional settings, Governor Newsom issued an executive order directing the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation to temporarily halt the intake and/or transfer of inmates and youth into the state's 35 prisons and for youth correctional facilities as well. The state says those inmates and youth will remain in county custody for the next 30 days. They say the period can be extended if needed. Additionally, the executive order directs the Board of Parole to develop a process to conduct all scheduled parole hearings through video conference starting April 13th and for the next 60 days. Across America, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases climbs higher. Now, more than 50,000 confirmed cases. Governors pleading for federal assistance as the president says multiple times today that he hopes to get the U.S. up and open for business by Easter. Overseas, Spain and Italy continue to see hundreds of deaths a day. More countries now enforcing national lockdowns. ABC's Romina Puga has the latest.
As the coronavirus spreads through the country, President Trump says he wants the U.S. to open for business by Easter.
Our decision will be based on hard facts and data as to the opening.
The president's team saying the number of new cases will likely surge because of a backlog of testing and are working on a way for people to take their own testing samples, sparing hospitals in some cases that are experiencing PPE shortages. Of major concern, New York City, the country's hot zone, with the infection rate doubling every 3 days.
One of the forecasters said to me, we were looking at a freight train coming across the country. We're now looking at a bullet train.
Officials now pressing New Yorkers who are fleeing the city to quarantine to prevent exposing others.
Everybody who was in New York should be self-quarantining for the next 14 days.
In Europe, Spain is struggling. Hospitals overwhelmed, more than 500 deaths in the last day. Italy with over 700 deaths in the last 24 hours, although the infection rate is slowly reducing. Other countries mirroring national lockdowns, India attempting the largest yet, a 21-day stay-at-home order for its 1.3 billion residents. And at the site of the original outbreak, an encouraging sign. Wuhan, China prepares to end its quarantine measures on April 8th.
And after months of resisting, the International Olympic Committee and Japan's Prime Minister announced they will postpone the 2020 Summer Olympic Games to summer 2021. In Los Angeles, Romina Puga, ABC News.
The Kern County Department of Public Health says 15 Kern County residents have tested positive for COVID-19. They say the latest person lives in what they're calling Bakersfield West. Now, Public Health is investigating this case to determine potential exposure sources and contacts the individual had. This individual is recovering at home. This coming after local health officials announced the 14th case earlier this evening. According to Public Health's website, there are still more than 330 tests pending, and they have received more than 200 negative tests. They are also monitoring 4 individuals. And in response to concerns regarding COVID-19, the Kern County Superior Court will limit public interaction and today announced further operational changes. Through April 10th, only certain cases will be heard, which include felony and misdemeanor criminal arraignments, felony preliminary hearings, and felony sentencings. The court will send notice to attorneys or parties who represent themselves. A full list of the cases that will be heard are available on our website, turn23.com. Well, if you're looking for a reason to smile, here's one. A local family is spreading positivity throughout their neighborhood and beyond. 23 ABC's Imani Stevens shares how colorful signs of positivity are uplifting the community amid the COVID-19 outbreak. Imani?
Jess, a movement that started right here in Bakersfield. The family that started this all wants everyone to make a homemade sign, then hang it on your street and post a photo of that sign to Instagram with the hashtag #PositiveBakersfield. And today I spoke with that local family about why they started this movement and the impact it has made so far. In the middle of a world pandemic, there's positivity.
We had this paper for a long time, and we just decided to put it to a use to help spread this positivity through these hard times.
And the homemade signs do just that. Each evening, the Robertsons make the signs, and by the morning, a new sign is up.
I just like seeing the people being happy and like smiling and stuff.
The signs of positivity hang on Hackman Road, in between Coffee Road and River Lakes Boulevard. Signs that say focus on the good, have faith, and smile. David Robertson says his kids came up with the idea.
It's not as happy as it could be, so I thought I was pretty proud of my kids for wanting to, spread some positivity and just remind people to smile.
Encouraging everyone to make their own sign, hang it up on your street, then post a photo of the sign on Instagram with the hashtag #PositiveBakersfield.
Just make a sign. It doesn't have to be very big, but you could just make one.
And be sure to tag 23ABC so we can help spread the positivity as well. Reporting in Bakersfield, I'm Imani Stevens, 23ABC News, connecting you.
All right, Imani, thanks. And in the spirit of continuing to spread joy during this quarantine, staff and teachers from the Rosedale Union School District putting together this special musical video message for their students and the community. Check it out.
We are the world. We are the children.
We are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving.
It's true, we'll make a better day.
Isn't that cool? You may have recognized one of those local teachers as Josh King, the man and teacher who recorded a version of Lizzo's Truth Hurts for his students that went viral, eventually getting to the red carpet of various music award shows. You can watch the entire video message from Rosedale Union right now on our 23ABC Facebook page. It's so cute. We do want to turn now and bring in meteorologist Allison Gargaro with a look at your forecast.
And we were seeing those cloudy skies today. That's actually ahead of our next big storm system that's going to be moving into Kern County tomorrow. So you could feel those temperatures a bit cooler than yesterday. That's that cold Arctic air that's actually filling into the county. So I want to take a look at our satellite and radar. So you can see a lot of that rain and snow is still north of the Kern County line. And it's not going to be pushing in until about Wednesday afternoon. But you can see those temperatures definitely dropping in the mountains 41 degrees in Lebec right now. Winds are also going to be impacting the county, mainly tomorrow, a little bit gusty in the Kern County desert. That is good news for our air quality. We'll have an AQI of 42 tomorrow. But again, much cooler air is on the way. Adding more details on temperatures that will be in the 50s later this week, and when we will be rebounding to the 70s coming up next.
All right, Allison, thanks. Meanwhile, a major earthquake struck near Russia this evening. The U.S. Geological Survey reporting an earthquake with a magnitude of 7.8 struck offshore 218 kilometers southeast of Russia's Kuril Islands. Thankfully, the U.S. National Tsunami Warning Center analyzed the situation and said a tsunami was not expected to hit the west coast of the United States. New developments tonight. Officials with the Management and Training Corporation, the company currently handling the contract with the Taft Correctional Institution, have announced the deadline for closure has been extended to April 30th. Now, the contract was originally set to expire on March 31st, but MTC said it is extending that deadline as the Federal Bureau of Prisons works to find an alternative for the facility. The Taft Correctional Institution can hold 2,500 inmates and employs around 332 staff members. News of the institution closing first came to light back in October of last year when officials said they were notified the Bureau of Prisons made plans to close the minimum security facility on January 31st. The Federal Bureau of Prisons said the decision to close the Taft prison was because funds did not exist for an estimated $100 million worth of repairs. They said the decision came after 10 to 15 years of infrastructure problems at the jail that included geological and seismic concerns. In sports news, LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer has reached an agreement to purchase the Forum in Inglewood. Now, that clears the biggest obstacle in the franchise's way of building a new arena in the area. So the Clippers announced that the newly formed Caps LLC reached the agreement with the Madison Square Garden Company, which owned the Forum, to purchase the music venue for $400 million cash. According to the Clippers, this clears existing litigation that was standing in the way of Ballmer building a new state-of-the-art 18,000-seat home for his team. The resolution of outstanding litigation was a condition of the sale, league sources said. The Forum will remain as a music venue.